Okay, so here's another example of Li equals Lf, okay, the angular momentum conservation application. Now what happens in this problem is the following. There's a disk that is spinning at some rate omega. Okay, so there's this disk that's spinning at this rate omega. Now there's a spider of mass m that lands on this disk at a radius of r from the axis, at a distance of r from the axis. The question is, what is the angular momentum of the system once the spider has landed? Okay, so we'll do several things with this. Okay, so first is find omega f after spider has landed. I don't know why I put a dot there. After the spider lands on the disk. And let's assume that once it lands, it gets stuck to that spider. It's not really going anywhere. And then we'll move the spider and ask what happens once the spider starts to move in. Okay, so let's say this is what happened. This is the first thing. So once again, when the spider lands on the thing, the forces are all internal to the system. So they all balance each other out. They all cancel each other out. So the net external torque on the system is 0. There are no outside torques. Okay, so we can use Li equals Lf. Now, since this is a solid disk, we know the moment of inertia for the solid disk. Okay, in the beginning, all we have is when we write this, we're going to write Li for the disk plus Li for the spider, and we'll do the same thing, Lf for the disk plus Lf for the spider. Very similar to what we did when we did momentum conservation. When we had bullet and block systems, we did momentum of the bullet, momentum of the block, and so on and so forth. Great. Now that we have this, let's write this down. Now for the disk, okay, we're going to use the simple relation I omega, which happens to be 1/2 m times r square, okay, multiplied by the omega in the beginning. And for the spider in the beginning, the spider is not spinning, it's not in contact with the thing, so its moment of its angular momentum is simply 0. Okay. Now in the end, what's happening is now the disk is still spinning. Let's say that it's going to be mr squared times omega f, plus the spider now is stuck to the disk, so the spider is also going to be spinning along with the disk. And the moment of inertia, what we'll do is for the spider, instead of using p times r perp, we'll just use moment of I times omega for the spider, and both of them end up giving us the same relation. Okay, what we know is we can treat the spider as a particle, so its moment of inertia is going to be m times r square, okay, and multiplied by the same angular velocity omega f. So once we have this, we can simplify this and rewrite this as omega f equals m r square omega, 1/2 m r square omega, divided by 1/2 m r square plus m times r square. Okay, so a simple application of the conservation of angular momentum. We can ask another question now here, that what happens if the spider starts to crawl towards the center? Okay, so we have the disk, now we have the spider that was lying around some distance r, and we can ask what happens when as the spider starts to crawl towards the center. And let's say at some new distance, let's call this distance a, okay, from the center. What happens to the angular velocity for the system? Once again, because there are no external torques, what we can do is we can simply use Li equals Lf. Okay. Now the the angular momentum in the beginning is equal to we could use all the way from the beginning, or we could use once the spider has landed. Okay. And it is going to be equal to 1/2 times mr square times omega. And I think it's easier to use what we had absolutely in the beginning, because the angular momentum has not changed since the beginning. Okay, so we have that, and then the final angular momentum is going to be with the angular momentum of the combined system at the new location, which will end up being 1/2 times mr square times omega f prime. Okay, I'm just going to distinguish between this one and the other omega, and plus once again for the spider we're going to have ma square times omega f prime, and what we have is that omega f prime is equal to 1/2 mr square omega divided by 1/2 mr square plus ma square. Okay, all I'm doing is I'm factoring the omega f prime out and then dividing it by all the stuff that is left. Alright, so this is another application of the conservation of angular momentum theorem.